On the news tonight, federal government says schedule of activities for the inauguration of President-elect commences next week. Governor Adeleke promises to strengthen the traditional institution. On the foreign scene, bandits killed 11 villagers in southern Chad. Good evening. Welcome to the Major Report. Babatunde Bolatito is my name. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has unveiled the inauguration program for the President-elect, Bola Tinubu, as the 16th President of Nigeria, while the events begin next week. Addressing the World Press Conference today, Boss Mustafa announced the schedule of activities for the inauguration of Bola Tinubu as the President of Nigeria. This includes the conferment of the Grand Commander of the Federal Republic on the President-elect and Grand Commander of the Order of Niger on the Vice President-elect, Kashim Shettima. Osun State Broadcasting Corporation Television was among the 8 other television stations in the country shortlisted for the Best Television of the Year award held in Lagos. Winners of the various award categories included both government and private radio stations. Speaking at the occasion, the chairman, Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria Born and Chief Executive Officer, MultiChoice Nigeria, Mr. John Ube, said broadcasting in Nigeria has come a very long way, and it is time broadcasters are celebrated for their sacrifices on the job. According to him, this will inspire apt and coming talents of sport broadcast professionals to do more for the industry. In this remark, the Secretary General of Board, Dr. Yemisi Bangbushi, applauded all participating stations and organizers for contributing to the success of the maiden edition of the award. The consultant to Osun State Governor on OSBC, Dr. Femi Adefila, the Director General OSBC, Mr. Rashid Folaromi, and Director of News and Current Affairs, OSBC Radio, Mrs. Abimbola Babakunde, represented OSBC at the occasion. The Federal College of Education will remain committed in its quest to producing qualified teachers who will be found worthy in character and learning to cater for the dearth of qualified teachers in public and private schools across the country. The provost of the institution, Professor Rafiu Adebayo, gave the assurance at the maiden matriculation ceremony of the institution, which recorded the intake of 823 new students. OSBC reporter Oluchi Amuda has the details.
Maiden matriculation ceremony of the Federal College of Education, Iwu, Osun State, attracted dignitaries from far and near, including royal fathers, politicians, educationists, college management, students, parents, as well as other stakeholders in the education sector. While delivering the matriculation address, the Provost, Federal College of Education, Iwu, Professor Rafiu Adebayo, announced that the college is matriculating 823 students in the maiden matriculation ceremony of the institution, the highest among the 6 new federal colleges of education established with the school at the same time. The Provost appreciated the federal government for providing the take-off grant which the college has been able to utilize, just as he spoke on the need for the provision of more funds for the growth of the school. He assured the people that the college remains unwavering in its commitment to producing students of integrity who have knowledge and integrated with wisdom.
All states, Osun State, the college appreciates the government of Osun State
In their goodwill messages, the Chairman, Governing Council, Asiwaju Liat Tella, the Oluwa of Iwo, Oba Abdulrasheed Akanbi, Telu I, and the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Mr. Adelani Aderiola, who stood in for Governor Ademola Adeleke, admonished the students to be committed to their studies and remain shining examples to others.
The school will do that regulation. And they will force you to, when they begin enforcement, don't complain. Don't beg that people to our school. Moral integrity, education with integrity. That's what the people do.
During my reign as the Oluwa of Iwo, both things have been coming to this land. This land has been going from one greater glory to another. You will be a pride of this nation. You will be greater than even Tinubu.
To our students, you are the ones we are celebrating today. I want to charge you that you should be good ambassadors of your various homes. This is a college of education. We are the ones who will be teaching our future leaders.
The Federal College of Education in Osun State was established in 2019 by President Muhammadu Buhari to cater for the dearth of qualified teachers in public and private schools, which has been identified as a major challenge in the provision of universal basic education in Nigeria. Oluchi Amuda, Osbc News.
The people of Osun State have been reminded that there is ability and disability among the people with special needs in the society. This is what this message passed across during the two-day capacity building for persons with disabilities in the state on right-based advocacy and strategies by FSTAJOY Foundation in Osogbo. Our reporter, Oluwadamilola Adebayo Jeje, has the report.
People with disability of all kinds gathered in Osogbo in a seminar sponsored by Lenience Fund and the Leprosy Mission Nigeria to speak and address the type of discriminations and how to advocate for their rights, as these acts have been seen as a way of abuse to them. The persons lamented on how the society and the media describe cluster group of persons with disability with derogatory languages due to their disabilities. The rights and the major barriers of people with disabilities were also addressed, as they believe everyone with a breath deserves an equal chance to the amenities of life, with the barriers they experience coming from attitude, institution and environment in hindering the rights of people with disabilities. Speaking with Osbc News in separate interviews, Mr. Falabi Fajemilo, the co-founder of the FSTAJOY Foundation, spoke on the necessity of the workshop as a right-based advocacy for people with disabilities, so as to equip persons with disabilities with the proper knowledge in advocating for their rights as individuals.
The essence of this training is to, equip persons with disability and the organization with, necessary tools and, and knowledge to be able to engage, duty bearers, and to advocate and be able to hold government accountable, to be able to track, ensure that there's disability inclusive society and government, in government programs and activities.
Also in the same vein, Mr. Kende Onitiju addressed the concern about people with disabilities, as they should not be seen as lesser people among us, but people with equal opportunities to life.
The issue of a disability bill is major concern to this foundation. And from moving how to put together the passage of the bill that will let we people with disability knows that we are very important in the society, and to tell the society that we are part of them.
People with disabilities should be considered as people too, because there is ability in disability. Oluwadamilola Adebayo Jeje reporting for Osbc News.
Mr. Moses Akinjiola has disclosed that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari in 8 years only served the interests of the elites rather than the earnings of the masses. Akinjiola made the disclosure shortly after participating on Osbc TV News and Current Affairs program, The Nation Today. Akinjiola, who is also a political analyst, said lots of sentiments have overshadowed the policies of Buhari's administration. He speaks further.
past 8 years or so of the government has been and will remain an interesting topic to be discussed for a very long time to come. We have witnessed the good, the bad, and the ugly. The government has done so well in some cases. They have done so not too well in some cases, and badly, woefully in other cases. The government appears to have served the interests of the elite in Nigeria more than that of the masses. A lot of things a lot of policies somehow have been witnessed. So many good intentions, but when it comes to implementation, it is badly implemented. And so the masses of this country have suffered more under this present government, the outgoing government, more than they gain from it.
The need to repositioning men and officers of the Nigerian police towards efficiency in fighting crime through provision mechanism came to the fore at the 5-day training organized for the officers. Our reporter, Odichi Amuda, says the officers are being trained on intelligence-led policing for effective crime prevention. The report.
The primary duties of the police as provided by Section 4 of the Police Act includes the prevention and detection of crime, the apprehension of offenders, the preservation of law and order, and the protection of lives and property, among others. It is in a bid to further help the police to effectively discharge their duties that a 5-day workshop on intelligence-led policing for effective crime prevention was organized. About 100 policemen in Osun State converged for the training funded by the Nigerian Police Trust Fund. While explaining the motive behind the workshop, the facilitator, Mr. Samuel Akosu, described intelligence-led policing as a practice that leverages technological advances in both data collection and analysis to generate valuable intelligence for crime prevention. Mr. Akosu noted that intelligence-led policing also depends upon enhanced collaboration with community members who have valuable observations and information about possible criminal activities that could be nipped in the bud to effectively fight and prevent crime.
Intelligence gathering will actually help a great deal in tackling insecurity in this country, because we know and we have records that these insurgents live in particular areas, and plans are being carried out by them before any attack or any incident occurs. So if we are able to identify them right before these criminal activities take place, then the police will be able to meet them or take the fight to their doorsteps and prevent them. Basically, what we're talking about is how to prevent crime.
Some of the participants, including CSP Israel Obadofin and ASP Theophilus Adeshokon, who spoke in separate interviews with Osbc News, described the training as an eye-opener, which has exposed them to the need to always be proactive and not reactive in the discharge of their duties to enhance effective policing.
It will adequately help me in the discharge of my duty in the sense that it's building my capacity. There are some do's and don'ts. There are things we do in traditional way before, but with the commencement of this training and what we have learned there, when we go back there, it will adequately change our orientation to how we perform our duty and how we discharge our duty to the community as a whole.
Police Trust Fund has really put in so much effort into this program, and I'm sure each and every person that is participating in this program will positively feel the effect of it, and that's in the same way will be what they will exhibit when they go outside to members of the community. So I'm very, very sure we're going to have a positive response from this, man.
The participants maintained that the Nigerian police is an intelligence-led police, and the training will further help the force in prioritizing its interest in terms of the allocation of resources and strategies that will be employed to reduce crime more effectively. Oluchi Amuda, Osbc News.
Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has approved the appointment of a new Yaloja General of Osun State. The name of the new Iyaloja General is Chief Mrs. Mary Oyebode. In a statement by the spokesperson to the governor, Malam Olawale Rashid, the governor described the new Iyaloja General as a strong leader of businesswomen in Osun State who has contributed immensely to the growth and development of commerce. According to the statement issued by the spokesperson, the approval of Iyaloja General is with all sense of responsibility and confidence in our ability to pilot the affairs of women in commerce for the collective prosperity of Osun State. The inauguration of the new Iyaloja General is to be held next week. Sequel to the federal government approval of the change of nomenclature of the Federal Ministry of Aviation to the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace, the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace has announced that the concession of Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, and Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, Kano, have been approved by the Federal Executive Council. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace, Hadi Savriska, said the achievements signified a notable milestone in the steadfast commitment of the outgoing government towards revitalizing the nation's aviation sector. The statement issued by the Special Assistant on Public Affairs to the Minister, James O'Dowd, declared that the Corporation American Airport Consortium has embarked on the preferred bidder, has emerged as the preferred bidder. It reiterated the administration's commitment to improving the standard of the nation's airports, providing world-class services to all travelers and generating considerable economic benefits for the country. The federal government has reiterated its commitment towards digitalization of operations across all ministries, departments, and agencies as part of effort geared towards making it a world-class. Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management, and Social Development, Dr. Nasir Sani Guazo, stated this in Abuja during the second quarter consultative meeting of directors and head of reform coordination and service improvement with the Permanent Secretary Service Policies and Strategies Office. Sani Guazo observed that directors are the most important public officers across the public service, tasked them with the need to effectively drive the reform process within their respective MDAs. He noted that the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management, and Social Development have been driving reforms, especially with regard to the federal civil service strategies in the implementation plan for 2021 to 2025. The federal government has approved the development of an electronic service civil registration and vital statistics system, a platform that will effectively keep electronic records of birth and death registration. This is contained in a statement issued by the acting head of media and publicity of the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission, Mr. Ifeanyi Nwoko, in Abuja. The commission saw the ECRVS 5.3 billion naira private sector fund will be injected by the concessionaire, Messrs. Bankford Technologies, while the National Population Commission will be the project grantor. According to him, the approval aimed to inject private sector funds into infrastructure development and boost nation's economic growth. Now welcome to our sports segment. The Nigeria Football Federation has set up a pre-World Cup training camp for the Flying Eagles in Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina. Nigeria will be making their 13th appearance at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. Oluwaranti Oderumi has detail on Sports Stories.
Arrived in the city of Mendoza 4 days before their opening match of the FIFA Under-20 World Cup finals against the Dominican Republic. The team, led by head coach Ladan Boso, touched down at Aeropuerto International Airport, Mendoza, and was received by NFL's head of international competitions, Dayo Enebehanko, and officials of the local organizing committee of the championship. The Nigeria Football Federation has set up a pre-World Cup training camp for the Flying Eagles in Buenos Aires, the capital city court of Argentina, where the team defeated an Argentine second division team, Almirante, and battled out a 3-3 draw with fellow World Cup finalists Colombia in friendlies. Nigeria, who will be making their 13th appearance at the FIFA Under-20 World Cup Finals, will open their World Cup campaign in Group D against Dominican Republic on 21 May and will also play Italy and Brazil in that order in the group phase. Also, Real Madrid coach Carlo Ancelotti has admitted that Manchester City deserved to win the match because they played better as Madrid a painful 4-0 loss at Manchester City Stadium. The win completed a 5-1 aggregate defeat for Real Madrid in their Champions League semi-final. Manchester City, who were beaten by Real Madrid at the same stage last season, avenged that heartbreaking defeat with a brilliant performance in front of their jubilant fans. Only Real Madrid goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois prevented them from inflicting even more damage. Also, the Premier League has officially released the nomination of the Player of the Season. After such a thrilling season, the players nominated for the Player of the Season award are Erling Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne, Harry Kane, Martin Odegaard, Marcus Rashford, Bukayo Saka, and Kieran Trippier. Oluwaranti Ojewumi for SBC News.
"11 villagers in South Chad have been killed by bandits in a region troubled by violence between herders and sedentary farmers." Olawumi Okalawan has details and more on the foreign scene.
Minister Dawood Ibrahim told newsmen that armed bandits, cattle rustlers, attacked the village of Makandi in Laramanai district, killing 11 villagers and making off with their cattle. The attack coincided with an announcement by Chad that it had joined with neighboring Central African Republic in an unprecedented crackdown. He said the security forces pursued them, killing 7 bandits and capturing 8 others, adding that the stolen cattle had been recovered. Laramanai's deputy prefect, Jimet Blamasuk, told newsmen that 12 villagers, including women and children, had been killed. In another development, China's President Xi Jinping is in the central city of Xi'an, where he is hosting his first ever summit with the leaders of 5 Central Asian nations, underlining Beijing's growing influence in a region that Russia has long considered its own backyard. The 2-day event brings together the leaders of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan, whose countries are crucial to China's trillion-dollar Belt and Road Initiative. The Deputy Director General of the Chinese Foreign Ministry Department of European Central Asian Affairs, Eugene, told a press briefing that the leaders will exchange their views on establishing a cooperation mechanism on international and regional issues of concern. Meanwhile, Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan has agreed to a Russian proposal to hold talks in Moscow next Thursday with the Azerbaijan President Ilham Aliyev. The negotiations will take place as tension rise between the Caucasus neighbors, who have fought 2 wars over disputed territory and who often see deadly clashes along their volatile border. Locked in a decades-long territorial conflict, Baku and Yerevan are negotiating a peace agreement with mediation from the European Union and United States, whose diplomatic engagement in the Caucasus has irked the traditional regional power broker, Russia. Prime Minister Pashinyan said in the cabinet meeting in Yerevan that a proposal has been received from Russia to hold a trilateral meeting at the highest level under the mediation of the President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, next Thursday. Olawumi Okolawon, OSBC News.
To end the major report, here again are the main points. The federal government has unveiled the schedule of activities for the inauguration of the President-elect Bola Tinubu as President of the country. The program commences next week. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has approved the appointment of new Iyaloja General Mary Oyebode. On the foreign scene, we reported that bandits have killed no fewer than 11 villagers in southern Chad region, troubled by violence between herders and farmers. That ends the major report on OSBC TV. It was edited by Adebari Ejimakide. Babatunde Bolatito is my name. Good night.